name is James. I normally make my videos in Chinese. Since I refuse to toe the line of the political correctness of the Western mainstream media, my channel has been intentionally and maliciously suppressed by YouTube. So I decided, on the spur of the moment, I will make this one in English to poke at its nerve in defiance of the truly ugly face of the American style of so-called freedom of speech. And let me start right away. Today, as I flipped through YouTube to find some but not specific channels to talk about China's history, to show off one of my friend's daughters who is interested in things Chinese, I stumbled upon the Chinese Silk Road series by Graham Lanford, a British director and author. Although I know the history pretty well, and this series was shot almost 10 years ago, which truthfully demonstrates and depicts the history and present-day life of those who work and live by the iota linking China with the rest of the Eurasia continent. But revisiting it still brought up emotions up to my chest. This is the kind of grand effect of civilization on ordinary people. Not some subcultural pop songs and dances the fast food loving Americans grew up to relish. History belongs to time. No money big enough to buy it. No military power mighty enough to destroy it. Win people by heart, you have a friend forever. Win people by force, you create an enemy for a lifetime. And that is the difference between China and the United States. On the other side of the same token, although there are times in history due to the internal conflicts, China appeared weak. But on the whole, she has been amongst the strongest nations, if not arguably the strongest in the world and in human history, be it culture, economy, tech development, and military. Why I say so? Please check the history and present-day China, and you shall see we still speak Chinese, our own language, keep our own tradition, and have our own festivals, believe in our own philosophies, enjoy our own cultural heritage, such as poetry, literature, and paintings, govern our own society with our own school of thoughts, stick to our own worldviews, raise our children in our own ways, and last but not the least, not afraid of anyone who tries to bully everyone else into obedience. In a nutshell, China is the only one that has maintained her unbroken thread of civilization because she's strong, not because she's weak. China, people like to say, that has achieved all these remarkable economic growth to become the world's #1 economy by PPP, or #2 economy by nominal GDP in just 40 years. But I would like people to look around and find a second example to have done the same as China. The answer is obvious: none. Then it begs the question, why? The answer is also very, very obvious, at least to me, because China is the only civilization state. You need a combination of all civilizational ingredients to cook such a wonderful meal, be it philosophy, social structure, competence of governance, merit-oriented education system, vitality of the people, and diversity of the society, so on and so forth. Having said this much about China, now let's give a minute to the United States and try to fit her in all the benchmarks established by China and see what comes out of it. None fits. United States is not a civilization state, not even a nation state like those in Europe. It is an immigration state, a hot pot of social Darwinism, with a variety of ethnic groups from different parts of the world thrown into it. People in the United States work and live under the laws and regulations designated for competition, not for coexistence with harmony. Thus, the general psyche of the American people reflecting on the behavior of the American elites and its government is that of aggression and ruthlessness. And that is definitely not a show of strength, but rather the ultimate weakness in front of a civilization state like China. I dare to boldly predict the future within the next 50 years. China still will be China, just like she has been there for the last 5,000 years. But the United States will be gone into the dustbin of history. What remains of today's superpower, like the once overwhelmingly powerful Soviet Union before it, will be a bunch of independent states, such as, let's just be a little bit imagining it. The republics of California, Texas, New York, or Florida, etc., etc. Gods don't create history. We humans do. And that's my conviction. Friends or foes? For me, that's all for today. I shall see you next one. Bye for now.